Hey guys, I'm Aaron, and today we're going to take a look at using snaps as hinge points. So snaps came out a little bit ago, maybe a couple releases ago, and we've done videos on them, which we've really leaned into the, connecting point. You have two pieces and they're going to connect together. And that's what we've looked at. Tyson did a video a little while ago with pipes pieces that you make modular pipe systems, that kind of thing. I think that's great. I wanted to take a look at a different usage, which is using a snap point as a rotational point, which I think is super cool. And it makes some stuff that's maybe difficult to properly rotate a lot easier. So let's take a look at that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an interior door, and we're going to use a snap point as a rotate location to open and close the door. So I know I'm going to get comments that you could just do this with dynamic components, and one could do this with dynamic components. But I don't want to spend time making a bunch of dynamic pieces and setting rotations and on interact. I want to just be able to rotate it and determine on the fly how much I want the door open. So there. No, I don't mean to be, but anyhow, let's take a look at this hinge. So this hinge, I'll try to remember to link to this, creating this hinge in SketchUp. This was a while ago we did this. So what I want to do is I want to create a door. It's like an interior door. It's a big, boring slab. Set these a couple hinges in it and then put it into a frame and then separate some of the hinge from the frame and the door, and then be able to open just kind of a whole component built up one way or the other. So let's do that. I'm just gonna draw, we'll make it like a 3-foot door. So I'll go over here, 36. I'll make it, I don't know, like 2 inches thick. And then we'll come back. And so just a rectangle of the base of that. And then I'll pull that up like 6'8", something like that. So the specifics don't really matter. They're really not that important. What is important is that we get this hinge. So I'm going to temporarily group all these pieces. You see there's 3 pieces here, right? This is left side of the hinge, right side of the hinge, and the pin. So I'm going to grab all of them and temporarily make them a group. I'm only doing this because I don't want to accidentally drop anything anywhere. I don't want to place this someplace it shouldn't be or anything like that. I don't want to leave a piece behind. I'm going to take that edge right there, that very edge, and I'm just going to stick it right here on this corner. Perfect. And then I'm going to move it into the door. So it's going to go in. I'm going to have a little cutout at some spot in the door so that hinge sits inside like that. Perfect. And now I'm going to come up. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to raise it up vertically like 11 inches. There's my bottom hinge. And then I'm going to take a copy of that. I'm just going to use this point right here, modifier to copy, drag that all the way up to the top. And then from the top, we'll come down 7 inches. There we go. So that is where, if I just have 2 hinges on this interior door, that's gonna fall. The only thing we gotta do really is we gotta come in here and cut out this door. I did make this 2 inches because I remember my hinges were a little on the wide section. So normally interior doors like 1 3/8 or something like that, about 1.5 inches, which is smaller than the width of this hinge. But I just kind of modeled this hinge on the fly, so I made the door fit. It's an example. All right, so to get the cutout, the notch for this, I'm just gonna draw a rectangle. And that rectangle to start right here. I'm gonna bring it straight across like this to this. And then I'm gonna bring it straight down to here. And then I'm gonna bring it out, back to the door. There we go, and that gives me a rectangle right there. And I can take that rectangle and I can push it in like that. But before I do that, I'm gonna grab it and I'm going to copy that rectangle from here up to here. And then just make sure I place it against the door. I'll zoom in here because I don't want to place it out here on the hinge. I want to make sure I place it right in there. And then I can take that and I can push that in, and I want to go to right there. There we go, that's set in, perfect. And I'll do the same thing here. Just double click now, it'll go in the same amount. All right, so there we go. That's our door. I said I was temporarily grouping these, and now I'm going to ungroup them. So I'm just gonna explode once, Click right here, explode once. All right, now I'm gonna take some of this and put it into the door group. So here's my door, so I'm gonna triple click, make that into its own group. And then I wanna also get the inside hinges. So it looks like if I pick the top one, that belongs to the outside hinge. This one here belongs to the inside hinge. You can see that because the outside got deselected. So I can look at it from the side too. There I can see that piece is part of the other side. So I'm gonna grab two pieces of hinges and the door and say, make a group. All right, so there, I just made a group. If I move that away, you can see what happens. This piece is now separate from this piece. I'm gonna hit a Command Z to put it back. So I'm modeling in place with this, which is cool, but it's not necessarily like, it doesn't have to stay there. I can always group and make that different. All right, so I'm gonna make a quick, just a really basic frame. I'm gonna come across like that, and then we'll come out like, I'm not even doing numbers with this. I'm just creating a shape. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna take that and I wanna have that go up, over, and back down the other side. The easiest way to do this, so I could mess with pulling lines out of there, but I'm just gonna real quick draw 3 lines. Then I can select those 3 lines. And I can just do a quick follow me with that shape I drew on the ground. And there we go. Got a quick and easy interior door frame. Now, I gotta do some stuff because I gotta cut out of that like I did the door. I gotta notch the frame so the hinge will fit in there. So I'm gonna right click on the door and temporarily hide it. There we go. Now I have just what I need. So same thing as I did before. I'm gonna draw a rectangle. So somebody's already asking, can I just do a rectangle like this? Can I? Let's see. I'm gonna start right here. There we go. I'm gonna pull down and I wanna come to here, but I wanna come out to here. There we go. That was pretty easy. And I should be able to push-pull the same amount because this side of the hinge is the same width as the other. So you can see there's my countersunk holes ready for screws in there. And I'll just do the same thing again. I'll come down here. I'll use a rectangle again. A lot of times I get in the habit of drawing rectangles as lines rather than using the rectangle tool just out of habit. I guess that's an old school, I don't know. It's a thing I used to do and I still do sometimes. All right, so now I'm gonna triple click, get this frame piece, right click, make it into a group. And now everything that's left is gonna be in this group. So I'm gonna grab all that, right click and make it a group. And now I will say edit, unhide, last. I'll bring my door back in. Now, what I want to do, so right now if I wanted to rotate this door open, what I'd have to do is go select the door, go to rotate, and then zoom in here and inference to the center of the pin. Once I have that, then I can come out here and I can say, okay, here's 0 degrees and I want to go 45, so I come this way 45, 60, whatever I need to do. And then when I want to rotate it back, that's what I got to do. Well, I mean, right now I could undo, but I got to come in here, find this. Now I got to rotate it back. Oh, maybe I could go like this. And, right. Oh, all right. That wasn't even an infomercial flailing second there. I really genuinely tried to do that quickly. And it didn't work out great. So how do we make this easier? Well, I'm glad I asked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double click into this group. So this group right here, not the casing, but the group with the door and the hinges on it. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to say add snaps. Now the snap, I want to inference that same spot I inferenced to before, so I'm going to hover over the edge, I'm going to come into the middle, snap there. I want to make sure that points up. And then for this, it doesn't really matter how we rotate it because it's a circular snap and that's all there's to it. All right, but that's it. That's all I wanted to do. So now, but this is the cool part, right? So if I select this door and I hit Q to rotate, look at what I get right there, a flat snap. So I can be all the way out here and I could go grab that door And let's go open it to 45 degrees. All right. And now let's say I actually need to open all of 90. So I'm gonna go grab that, hit rotate again, grab that point, and let's go open to another 45 degrees, or let's just snap on the green axis. We'll just get over here and then click right there. And there you go. Super quick, super easy. In the past, pre-snaps, back in the PS days, pre-snap, I would say do something like put a line right here in the middle and then run it up here so it's above the door so it's easy to click to, and then select it and put it on a layer called inference or reference or something like that, and then turn it off when you don't need it and turn it on only when you want to rotate. This is basically that, but so much easier. All I got to do, rotate, grab this, rotate that back, and there we go. So there you go. Snaps. And you notice I only did one snap too. If I wanted to, I could have done that earlier on. I could have taken this over here and modeled these two pieces separately and then put two snaps in the same place and snapped them together. That actually would have been more work than modeling it in place though. I only need really one snap if I'm using this as a handle to rotate, and that's on the geometry. That is supposed to rotate when the door opens. So I'm a big fan of having an existing tool and finding new ways to use it. How do you get the most out of the tools you already have? And this is a perfect example with snaps because, yes, snaps can be used to connect things together, and that's absolutely true. That's a big part of what they work for, but they also work as user-defined snap points. And by putting that point in there, by making it flat this way, we know we're always going to rotate around that flat. It's just a quicker and easier way to do it. So again, shout out to all of my dynamic components fans out there. You guys are awesome. And yes, you could have done all that and then set the axes at the middle of the pin and then say on click, rotate 0 plus 15 degrees up to a certain amount and then go back close. You could do all that. Or you could put a dot in there and let you just rotate it open and closed. My opinion, that's probably quicker and easier. I don't have to interact with it. I can just use my model tools, but you do you. This is an option. That's all I'm saying. If you like that video, click like down below. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. We create several videos each and every week and you'll be notified of all of them if you subscribe. Most importantly though, leave us a comment down below. Is there another tool that you think you could be getting more out of, but you don't know how to? Or is there a specific workflow that you're tasked with but don't know how to get through? Let us know down in the comments. We like making these videos a lot, but we like them even more when showing something you want to see. Thank you.